Executive Director of DITO, Courtney Garrett, President and CEO of DDP, Regent Norbert Chavez from the University of Colorado here, Denver City Councilman Chris Hines for joining us here, and all of our civic and nonprofit and industry partners who have championed this opportunity and some of which who have joined us here today. And finally, the CU Denver Executive Leadership Team, our communications and marketing team that helped build this event and make this so successful. I want to thank them for their efforts. Today really does mark a milestone that reflects a simple belief. As an urban-serving research university, CU Denver succeeds when our city and our community succeed. At CU Denver, our students are absolutely at the center of every decision that we make, and their success is frankly our greatest responsibility. I have often described that responsibility as our public service mission, but for those of you that have heard me speak recently, I've shifted to the word obligation. For us, serving learners and our communities from across the region and ensuring they find success in whatever they choose to do through us is not optional. That means we must do more than educate students in the classroom. It requires that we also prepare our learners to meet today's challenges and tomorrow's needs, from creating meaningful workforce development opportunities to fostering innovative thinking and equipping learners to drive future impact, not only for their benefit, but the collective benefit of the communities around us. This is what makes the University of Colorado's acquisition of and CU Denver's programming of Independence Plaza so exciting. And I'm so happy to welcome you now to a CU-owned property in downtown Denver. This space that we sit in today will create new opportunities for our learners to connect their education to careers, increasing access to hands-on learning experiences, internship, employer partnerships, and stronger workforce pathways. And because Independence Plaza further positions CU Denver in the heart of downtown, it creates new opportunities to connect our learners and employees with the people, organizations, and ideas that are driving Denver's future. Through the Denver Jobs Initiative and Launch Denver, and in partnership with Denver Economic and Development and Opportunity and the Denver Downtown Development Authority, our forthcoming Innovation and Entrepreneurship Hub, to be located right here in Independence Plaza, will allow CU Denver to work alongside the city to support entrepreneurs, small businesses, and new investment in our downtown. I want to thank the DDDA for their ongoing support and the $4.5 million in funding it recommended, pending City Council approval, to support the hub's development. We believe what will make this partnership so powerful will be the connections it creates between our learners and employees with Denver's employers, entrepreneurs, and innovators. At CU Denver, we take seriously our incredible responsibility as an urban-serving institution by being deeply connected to our city and region, which we're doing today through establishing this location within the CU system, spurring opportunities and contributing to the revitalization of this great city, Denver, and putting our knowledge, talent, and resources to work for the communities we are in service to. So if you take one thing away from today, I hope that it's this. The University of Colorado, through CU Denver, is investing in Independence Plaza because we believe our university is at its best when our learners, our employees, and our city are moving forward together and thriving together. As Colorado's only public urban research university, and as the #1 university in Colorado for social mobility, CU Denver has an obligation to create pathways that help our learners and university communities succeed as we partner to build a stronger Denver. This is an investment in our learners, an investment in our employees, an investment in our great city, and an investment in our region's workforce and economy. So I want to thank again Mayor Johnston, and everyone from DIDO, DDP, the City and County of Denver, DDDA, University of Colorado, and CU Denver, who helped make today possible. We are proud to join you today, but more so, we're eager for the great things that will come from this evolution of CU Denver. So thank you for being here today, and I'd like to introduce Mayor Mike Johnston.
Well, thank you so much for having us, Ken. We're delighted to be with you today. Today is another giant step forward in the revitalization of downtown Denver. When you think about the work we have been at shoulder to shoulder over the last several years around downtown, you've seen multiple phases. We started with a deep focus on safety to make sure everyone felt safe in downtown. That created our own downtown dedicated Denver police unit, which has had huge success in making downtown one of our safest places. We focused on how we got more and more people to make this a neighborhood, not just a business district, which meant focusing on converting empty commercial office space into residential units. We're on a path now to convert 4,000 new residential units in downtown, help making this more and more of a neighborhood. We've been focusing on retail revitalization and how we help bring and attract more great retail destinations to make this the place that you want to shop, want to come and spend time and go to great restaurants and bars. We're now at over 106 new retail establishments that have been open over these last several years, but today represents the next stage of that great process, which is no better way to make a downtown vibrant than to put young people at its heart. And so for us, the ability to have CU with a home right here on 16th Street means thousands of students daily coming in and out of this building is just another step forward into making this a downtown like no place else. We will be one of the few major cities in America that has a Tier 1 research university right in the heart of our city, and it means that it's more coffee shops, more restaurants, more retail activation for those folks who are coming to and from class, to and from meetings that CU will help drive. So we think this is a tremendous success for the development of downtown, and also for this immediate neighborhood, this block. So grateful for Councilman Hines' leadership on all of the work in downtown. We're so excited about the work on Skyline Park, which is happening right next door, which he's advocated for. You take that revitalized Skyline, plus this new incredible activation of Independence Plaza, and you now have an entirely activated neighborhood in these couple of blocks that we're thrilled about. We've had a couple of major areas of focus you've seen that have become real hearts of downtown. Union Station is that place and space where folks gather. Now Larimer Square is another one of those. Skyline Park with this new development will become another center of downtown, plus the activation of Glenarm Plaza, which is up and open. Those all represent the major hubs that we think get more and more folks to want to live down here, more and more folks to come visit, and more folks to want to open and expand their companies down here. And so we're so thrilled about the opportunity to also have this be a bridge between the Auraria campus and 16th Street, two major assets for the city, sometimes divided by sphere, but really connected by, I think, a shared purpose and commitment, and now connected by a campus that, that includes both of those sites. And so I want to say a couple more thank yous. I want to thank Bill Mosier, who has done an incredible job on helping make this project a reality from the very beginning and getting it across the finish line. Thank you so much, Bill, for all of your work on this. Obviously, want to thank Adib and Courtney, who you hear from in a minute, who've done incredible work here. Want to thank Councilman Hines for his courageous leadership here. But mostly want to thank our partners at CU. I think you were looking for not just a way to transform outcomes for your organization and for your students, but for our city. And it was clear that you had your heart and head deeply committed to this place as well as your own organization. And we are grateful to have partners that think globally in that way about not just what's best for one organization, one person, but what's best for a full city. And you have made our city richer and fuller and more vibrant with this change. So thank you so much for making it happen. And with that, I am delighted to welcome to the stage the man who's been the driving force behind this effort from the city for us, who's helping lead our economic revitalization both in downtown as well as in every neighborhood across Denver. Please welcome to the stage our Director of Economic Development, Adib Khan.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning, everyone. It's really an honor to be here today and really to be celebrating this milestone as CU announces a transformational investment into our downtown. It's clearly just the beginning. However, like the mayor, I can't help but get excited about the opportunity this presents, thinking about not just the opportunity, but the energy. Having faculty, students coming to this part of downtown, activating this space, being adjacent to Skyline Park. It is truly a remarkable opportunity for the city. And DIDO is really proud to partner with CU Denver and the Chancellor's vision to build an innovation hub at the heart of downtown. The concept of the Innovation Hub really follows successful models that we've seen from Chicago to Dublin, from Austin to Sydney, a central physical space where we're able to bring together entrepreneurs, the university, investors, and establish a critical mass of learning, design thinking, collaboration, and business development right here in Denver. This has been a missing component of our startup ecosystem, and there couldn't be a better partner to work with on this than the University of Colorado, because they bring three things that you can't replicate. One is the talent. A startup center, it needs more than good ideas. It needs students, researchers, it needs engineers, designers, and operators, business minds. CU's breadth makes it a natural pipeline, not just for starting companies, but also for scaling them. On top of that, the Tier 1 research institution. Tier 1 research universities boost new startup hubs by providing immediate access to that talent, as well as cutting-edge inventions, advanced laboratory equipment. They also help early-stage companies secure vital government grants and connect with experienced mentors. And on top of that, a track record. The CU system as a whole is the #1 institution in the United States for launching startups out of university research. So we're building it here downtown on purpose, because downtown Denver has the energy you don't get anywhere else. The density, the collisions, the people who you run into along the way when you're walking downtown. Putting CU Denver and this innovation hub in the central location is really what's going to make a difference in this city for years to come. There is much success to build on here in Denver. This innovation hub will actually benefit from many of the things that we've already established here in the city. Denver is a magnet for purpose-driven companies that are working on today's biggest problems and tomorrow's breakthroughs. The New York Times named Denver the #2 city in the country for new graduates. York IE ranked us the 3rd fastest growing startup city in the United States, and Startup Genome ranks Denver as the 26th best startup ecosystem in the world. We're shooting for #1, and this is going to help us get there. We host events like Colorado Startup Week, which this year will take place in September 14th through the 18th, the largest free entrepreneurial event in North America that brings together more than 10,000 founders and investors. 2 years ago, the mayor envisioned and launched the Den AI Summit, which brings together today's technology and the leaders of the industry to take on the challenges faced by the public sector. And we're home to a growing list of billion-dollar companies that have started here in Denver. Over 15 unicorns that have started in our city, including companies like Guild, Ibotta, Dispatch Health, and others. Over the coming months, we'll work closely with CU Denver, the community at large, to bring this concept to life, to design both the space and the programming, flexible co-working, mentorship, incubation, and acceleration support. We want to make sure that we have the workforce and talent connections, and we're all looking at 4 major outcomes. First and foremost, this is a jobs engine. The Innovation Hub is really designed to be a place where we're starting up businesses and ideas, and we're scaling those effectively here in our city. We also want to be able to attract more outside capital and investment into Denver, flowing to local entrepreneurs. We want to grow those businesses to solve the problems of today and tomorrow, a launch pad that anchors and founders are here instead of sending them to the coast, and a wider front door. More opportunities for first-time and underrepresented founders at the earliest stage. Thank you for everyone to help us get here, and everyone who will help build what comes next. To CU Denver and Chancellor Christensen, thank you for your partnership. To the DDA and the board for backing it financially, and our partners on the startup community, the founder community, for coming along with the city and CU Denver. We expect to have more news on this exciting development in the months ahead. So thank you again for being here, and I'll now turn it over to one of the city's most dynamic leaders and a champion for downtown Denver, Courtney Garrett.
It is nearly impossible to go last with this lineup of speakers and people who care so much about this city. So how do you say something different? I'm not really going to, but I do want to underscore so many of the points that were made because this truly is a transformational project for the heart of our city. So first and foremost, on behalf of the partnership, I want to say congratulations. I know the work that went into this deal. I know the responsibility that was taken by each of your institutions, and it shows in the quality of the deal. This will move the needle. Independence Plaza's transformation reflects what we see over and over again today, which is historic towers finding new life. We see it in the housing conversions underway. We see it in creative pop-ups and art installations in vacant space. And in this case, a building will find a new life as an education and innovative hub for our community. One of the often, some of you have heard me say this before, over and over again, one of the often untold stories of downtown Denver is that we are a college town. 45,000 students and faculty on the Auraria campus every single day. And if you were paying attention to this year's State of Downtown report, the Auraria campus is performing at 110% above pre-pandemic recovery levels. That shows the infusion of what we can see here. They are expanding on the campus. They are expanding childcare and housing. They are building a neighborhood, and each institution is innovating its programs for the betterment of our community. Our education partners, you all are showing up, and that is making a difference. With the expansion of CU's presence further into downtown, we know that this energy will continue to bring student life, to benefit our corporations, and to bring economic and social impact into the city. Imagine seeing students and faculty and researchers connecting daily with our downtown employers. Over and over again, we hear, we need talent. We need more homegrown talent. We need to retain our talent. So to continue to expand these institutions directly into the core is absolutely imperative. And we have launched Denver. I mean, what an incredible, with the partnership's history in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, with, as Adib said, Colorado Startup Week, with Commons on Champa, all of these things that we've been working with all of you so closely, to have a hub, to have a refreshed hub in the future like Launch Denver is absolutely incredible. And it is a powerful nod that we are continuing to drive the economy from an entrepreneurial lens. We've long said that downtown thrives with a diversity of uses, and that's exactly what we see here. We see housing, we see retail, we see arts, and now bringing learning to the old live, work, play, and learn to the heart of our city. So the partnership is, again, incredibly proud to support projects like this, and we look forward to continued partnerships with CU Denver, of course, with the city and with the Development Authority. So thank you all so very much for your contribution.
Thank you again for being here today. We have time for a few questions if there are any.
That's a far cry from when it last sold in 2007 for $145 million. Do you guys think that's a good deal? And why do you think it sold for so much less?
So I think as with any real estate market, there's fluctuations, and with fluctuations brings opportunity. And so for us, we saw this as an opportunity to reinvest in our city in ways that can help it thrive in the future. And so, certainly we believe that the investment is a good investment on behalf of the University of Colorado, and we believe that it's going to translate into a thriving future, not just for our university, but in helping downtown reach its full potential.
Just for context, how many floors are currently vacant? I've heard 17 of 25, but I just wanted to see if that was right.
The current occupancy rate within the building is about 20%.
What plans do you have to do capital improvements or anything like that as you take on this role?
Thank you for that question. We're going to be launching a campus-wide space utilization and planning exercise that will help us evaluate all of our space usage across the university and also help envision what this space could be, not just for the university, but for the community. And so we'll be developing those plans, and then any outcomes from those recommendations and the plans that we finalize will then inform the sorts of improvements that will be made in the building. So that's to come.
I'll go real quick. You guys voted to approve the purchase for this building back in June. It was supposed to close then for about $30 million. It closed this week for around $28 million. What was the reason for the delay and the $2 million reduction?
So again, as with any real estate transaction, through a due diligence period, once you've gone under contract, there are continued negotiations about the details of the sale. And we arrived at the final sale price of $27.95 million through that process. So the first thing is the existing tenants, many of them will remain with us through the interim. The second is that through the space planning exercise, we'll determine what sorts of operations from CU Denver might occupy this space. From a financial perspective, this building will operate as what we call an auxiliary, which means that the revenues generated here will be reinvested back into paying the expenses that are incurred here. And so in that way, we're shielding, in a financial way, we're shielding this enterprise from the financials of the rest of CU Denver. That doesn't mean that from an operational perspective, there will be flow across of activities that exist within this building. So that's simply a financial structure that we have in place to ensure that this building operates on its own.
Just more conversationally, how did it come together that you realized this was the right building for your needs and got all these partners in from the outside in a pretty quick amount of time?
So I took over leadership of the CU Denver campus as chancellor in February of 2025. One of the things that I noted coming to this city and this institution was the incredible potential in more deliberately and more strategically connecting learning and our learners and our researchers with the business community here in Denver. And there are a number of metropolitan areas across the country that are thriving because of the partnerships between higher ed institutions and the cities themselves and their business bases and their government entities. And so I saw that opportunity here. And I also saw, as a leadership team, we saw an opportunity to establish a stronger presence within downtown where the employers of our graduates reside. And so we saw this again as a strategic opportunity, not just for the university to expand and enhance its impact for its students, for its employees, and for its communities, but also to come together and partner really with the city in its own goals of finding a new level of thriving here in the Denver metropolitan area. And there was a synergy in all of those goals. And so this was just, again, a strategic opportunity for our university to really serve its public service obligation in meeting the needs of our communities. And we're so happy that this partnership has developed, has worked out, and we look forward to seeing the impact of it in the future. Yeah, that's a great question. So I think our process will be months long. We're just launching that process, and so more to come on that. Once that process is complete, we'll make decisions about how our footprint may evolve over time. I want to be clear that our commitment to the area campus is strong, and particularly the buildings that we own on that campus, the ones that our students and employees occupy and thrive in their own careers within, as well as the 9th Street corridor, which is a historic corridor in terms of understanding what Auraria was before it became a tri-institutional college campus. And so the timeline will move on its own. We want to make sure that our community is involved and engaged in recommending how we might utilize this new space in addition to what our footprint might evolve to be in the future. Anything else? All right, well, thank you again for being here today to celebrate with us, and we really look forward to what the future holds, not just for CU Denver, but our city as well. So thank you very much.